mute button. Thank you. Oh, hey, what it do, Jive Turkeys? Hey, what's going on? What it do? This is Elliott-Carter of the Controversity. I'm with the most amazing, beautiful gal in the world next to me, Tatiana Wilson.
Hello.
Sorry about that weird intro. We were looking at porn. I'm just kidding. She was.
Yeah.
All right, so
100%.
So today we have a jam-packed show. I don't expect a lot of people to come in the chat today because for obvious reasons, a lot of people are on edge and they're focusing on the election news of where things are going to be going. It could be anybody's race at the moment. So a lot of people are glued to that. What's going on? Say what? How you doing, brother? See you in the chat. What's going on? The Silver Sight. I'm glad you're here with us, big homie. That's my dog Reggie right there. But yeah, I know a lot of people are glued to see what the outcome is tonight. So I don't expect a lot of people to be popping in. But it doesn't stop it. It doesn't stop the nostalgia. We still want to talk the nerdy shit. So beginning we will, and I had a guest on tonight named Alex, but he's not going to be joining us because he's stuck on the road. But yeah, the show will go on. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Mandalorian season 2, episode 1. And then we're going to be talking about celebrity endorsements. Do they work? Did it affect this election? Did it change your mind at all? And then our final conversation will be our favorite television shows of 2020, the ones that came out. Before we start, how's your day been going today, Boo?
Not too bad. I got my information in to get my passport. So
she's getting her passport.
Checking stuff off the list.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had to go get it. We had to get it. Not, it's not because of the things that are going on. It's just
he's been telling me to go get it for a long time.
For sure. We want to see the world. Why not? What's one place you want to go?
I want to go a lot of places.
Take your black butt back to Africa.
I mean, yeah, I would like to go.
That would be dope.
A lot of places. Everywhere.
Okay.
A little bit of everywhere.
Got one in the chat right there. Woohoo for passports. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we so she's officially gonna get it around January. You want to go to Germany? I do too. So she's officially gonna get it in January. So me, my son, and Toddy will have our passports, and we will be visiting the world. I would love to go to Egypt. I would love to go to Thailand, and then we both talk about New Zealand lately. Yes. You want to check that one out? What's going on, my boss in the chat? What does that even say?
The Maldives or Maldives.
Maldives.
It's islands, I think.
Well, I know he's from Albania. Is that how you say that? Albania, yeah. And pictures from Albania look amazing and beautiful. So I definitely want to. But wherever it takes us, man. If anything, we need a break from America from time to time, and let them have that, if that makes any sense. All right, so I'll briefly talk about Mandalorian episode 1, season 2. I enjoyed it. Toddy has not seen it.
I've not seen it.
But it's more Baby Yoda and there's more Mando in that mug. And it's great. It's more focused on Mando. He's fighting in the desert. He goes back to Tatooine, the home of Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker. And he has to help out a village with this monster. And the sheriff of the village has Boba Fett's gear.
Oh.
Yeah. So that means he somehow traded for that gear, and he came across that. Immediately pisses Mando off. Like, why are you wearing that Mandalorian gear? I will beat your ass right here where you stand. It's pretty much the vibe I got from that. And
sounds about right.
Yeah. And he's like, look, I'll give it to you, but you got to help me with this dragon or something that keeps messing up our village. So they teamed up with the Sand People. Sounds racial, but it's just the name what they go with in Star Wars. And
the what people?
Sand People.
Sand People.
Yeah,
it sounded like you said Saiyan people, and I was like
Super Saiyans. That would be dope. So so they teamed up and they finally ended up destroying the monster. Baby Yoda was cute in between scenes. But the crazy twist at the end was Boba Fett was actually in the mountains
this whole time,
scooping up the scenes. He's seeing what's going on.
So he just why? Was there any sort of explanation? Are we waiting on that?
So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. What's going on, King of the Hill? It was a great episode, great premiere for the second season. So I wanted to say something like it was weird because we kind of got the impression that Boba might have been dead, obviously from episode 6, and then this new guy's just wearing it just for fun. But
So what was Boba Fett wearing?
he was just wearing a normal outfit. He looks a little older. He looks like Django because obviously he's a clone of Django. But what was interesting to me was like, so he's been on Tatooine for the epiphany of 5 years at this moment. Yeah, after Return of the Jedi, which would be 5 years. So why have you not gone to get your outfit? How did you lose your outfit? You see a guy wearing your outfit. I don't know what that's about, but you just don't care. And then you've seen this Mandalorian, which is supposed to be part of your tribe, wandering around, and you don't want to make any contact. He's just looking from afar.
He took his chance to dip.
Yeah. And it could be he's just like, you know what? I'm tired of the galaxy shit. I'm tired of the Jedi stuff. I'm tired of like fighting all the time. I just want to be an old man here and die. What's going on, Reggie? See you in the chat, big homie. That might be anybody have any type of theories, let me know in the chat. But are you glad to see Boba Fett back? I know that's a fan favorite. I personally like Mando more. And your thoughts on that? I know you haven't watched it. I definitely spoiled it for you, but
you did, but it's okay.
But I can't hold it in. I've not got to talk to anybody about it.
No, I'm sorry. I let you down.
It's all good. But yeah, next episode's coming Wednesday, not Wednesday, but Friday. Can't wait to see that. If we are live for that. If America is not self-destructed by that. Come on, everybody. Yeah, everybody calm down so we can watch some more Star Wars shit. There, come. All right. So speaking of the election,
come on, Nevada.
Yes, come on, Nevada. But I don't want to dwell too much on the subject because I do want to get a little bit of a break from everything going on because my anxiety is at an all-time high at the moment. I know people are tired of having this conversation, especially in the nerd community. We want to just center on nerd shit. But this kind of ties in a little bit with the election about celebrity endorsements. We have everybody from the Avengers endorsing a candidate. We have like everybody, Star Wars characters. We have the cast of like the boys and stuff like that. Throughout history, there's been like big top celebrities that said, "Hey, I'm stepping with Obama, or I'm stepping with Bill Clinton, or I'm stepping here with Bush." At this time, at this election, I think we had Ryan Reynolds publicly do it. The Rock publicly did it. A lot of celebrities publicly did it. In your opinion, do celebrity endorsements matter? Do you value a celebrity's opinion? And does it ever change your mind about what you had already?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So
I don't care to listen to what they have to say on a regular basis.
Even if they agree with you.
So again, do I care? No, I don't think so. But like, is it kind of cool
when they agree with you though?
Yeah. I will give you that. But is it going to like persuade me, or like is it going to make me feel like really some type of way? Nah,
absolutely.
I don't really care. But it is kind of cool when you're like, oh, that person that I actually do like also is on my
did we just become best friends? Like that's your thought, right? And I definitely do agree, Reggie. Our anxiety's through the roof about everything going on right now. But yeah, let's but when it comes to celebrity endorsements, I'm like you. That's dope if me and like The Rock have a similar ideology about something. If we didn't, would I think differently about him? Depends on the subject.
Yeah. So like, if they're going to disagree, like that's fine. I don't care if you disagree, but I think it depends on like your personality and like how you handle that disagreement. Like if you're just like, okay, cool, I support, well, in this instance, I support Trump because his policies, blah, 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 whatever.
The greatest.
I'm going to be like, okay, cool, whatever, I don't care. But then if you're like, I support Trump and also F all the black people and like, or like being belligerent and like saying shit that he would say, then I'm going to be like, okay, like, well, we have a problem here. That's where I draw the line.
What's going on with my cousin Nick right there? What's happening, brother?
Screw all the Hispanics. Like, I'm gonna be like, no, this is a problem. Like, anytime it comes to race or just the well-being of people, I have a problem with anybody, regardless of even if it's politics or not. Yeah, that's a problem.
I definitely agree. Like, for example, I love Clint Eastwood. Me and Clint Eastwood do not agree a lot on policy, but man, he is an amazing director. He's one of the greatest to ever, walk on a set. And damn! Nick, List, Nick, big homie. Wow, thank you very much. And you know what? I'm not saying that you owe me this because you don't, but it has been a while since you've been in these chats. I appreciate you coming through. But this is overwhelming. I appreciate the donation, big homie. Yeah, thanks for coming through, and I much love, peace, and chicken grease. And I can't wait to see you. Hopefully on Thanksgiving, bring your ass to Panama City, bro. Let's have that conversation. Hashtag Nicholas Tobert. No, I will not, shush. You just gave me some money for gas, brother. I love you. Okay, so back to celebrity endorsements, man. But yeah, so he's all Clint Eastwood, one of the best to ever do it. So now there are celebrities that you do look high on. Like for me, Dave Chappelle. Yeah. Dave Chappelle is someone I do look up to. Larry David, who he's not the best person to look up to, but I do value his opinion a lot.
I mean, it's obvious. Well, not obvious to them, the viewers watching, but for me, someone who is with you daily on a daily basis, right. It's obvious that you do look up to Larry David. Yeah, you know, he is he's the Black Larry David.
You know, I am the Black Larry David. I do value Obama's opinions. I do value like a creator like Tyler. I about said Tyler Perry. I don't give a shit.
That's what I thought you were gonna say, and I was like, "What?"
Tyler Perry. I do value what Tyler Perry would say. Not that I'm a big fan of his movies, but as an entrepreneur, he does his thing.
He has some good ones.
Yeah.
The Medea ones
maybe
are
3
overboard. His other ones that are not Medea are like really good, I think.
Yeah,
some of them.
I can see that.
Some of them, not all of them.
But to my point, there are some celebrities I do look high on. It would break my heart if they didn't agree with like something that's important to me, like feeding the homeless or the environment. If they had this mindset of fuck the environment, I might feel a certain way by watching their movies. So yeah, because it might be like, you know, why should I support someone that don't give a damn about my life?
Yeah, right.
But I think that's the exception.
Would you feel different about your man's Leo if he wasn't as like vocal about
the environment? I mean, it was sugar. I already liked Leo. Like,
I know you did. That's what I'm saying.
But
would you feel different if he was like the opposite?
I felt like him being like so vocal about in the environment sprinkled like obviously some sugar on my love for Leo. Pause. But no, I if he did say like F the environment, well, nobody publicly says that. Even the ones that don't support the environment, they don't publicly say that. But
no, but they're also. I mean, I guess what the opposite would be like Trump, who just denies science.
Okay, so yeah, I'm big on progression. I mean, if you don't believe in science, I do think you're an idiot, but I don't think you're a bad person. If that makes any sense. No. Now the racial stuff that's when I think you're a bad person, and you know, lack of empathy for children and you know, sexual assault and all that stuff is something I can't rock with. But to my point, I think I do care about a celebrity endorsement depending on the topic, but for the most part, it doesn't persuade like my values, because my values come from living life and how I grew up and my environment. You know, Ryan Reynolds don't know shit about my life, like, so why should I give a fuck about his life? Yeah, but I do love Ryan Reynolds though. Seriously, keep up good work. Does. Everybody, yes.
I've never met a person that didn't like him.
Nah,
at least a little.
No, if you don't like Ryan Reynolds, then you're a jerk. Like him and The Rock are like the perfect, and they're like and Kevin Hart, they're like the nice people that they give that illusion that they are very, very nice people. All right, so let's move on to the main event. You ready for this? So I want you guys to let it have this conversation in chat with us. What's up, Babis? Thank you for coming through. What's up, people? Perfect time to wake up from this nap. Man, I wish naps were required, honestly, especially for people that work.
Give us a siesta.
Yeah. So, Al, if you're still in the chat, my boss, let me have a nap between shifts, man. Come on. For the culture.
Like on your shift?
Like, yeah, you know, I don't really get breaks. So, like, yeah, give me like a 30-minute nap right before work. Let me have that.
Right before work. Then you might as well just not go into work at the time you go in.
Come on, man. Whose side are you on? I'm trying to take a nap at work, and you're over here like, no, maybe it's not a good idea. Come on, man. It's a terrible idea, but back me up. I'm your man.
I'm just saying you should.
Come on.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just talking logic.
All right. Well, hashtag give Ian a nap during work. All right, let's go to the main event. The best television shows of 2020. So, the good thing about being on lockup is giving us a lot of time to join Black Mirror, as in watching the television for more time than we need to. It gave me a lot of new shows to develop on. 2020 came out with some great stuff. Did hold a lot of production in real life, which kind of sucks, but gave us some great content when it comes to television shows. So we're going to talk about our favorite television shows of the year so far, which is almost done anyway. I don't see anything else coming.
Well, maybe Euphoria.
Euphoria, that's right. We are getting that little special. But yeah, we're going to talk about our favorite television shows of the year. So if you got anything to contribute, please throw it in the comments. We'll talk about that. Todd, do you want one? I know, right? Wait, come on. Come on. So I'm going to agree with Abby's right here.
I didn't say no nap. He said I should have one before work. And I said, well, then you should just go into work later.
I should just have a nap whenever I want. Freedom of naps. Shit. We fought for this country. So Abby, I'm going to agree with Abby. We're going to talk about the Boys season 2. All right. Raised by Wolves, which is actually on my watch later. The Undoing. We got Lovecraft right here. The Boys season 2. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about ours right now. I'll start with the one that kind of kicked it off this year. I'm not going to go in order if you're reading it, but the one that kind of kicked it off this year was like kind of the introduction to quarantine, which would be, you know what I'm about to say, right?
Yeah.
Tiger King. Who watched Tiger King? Like, that was, wow. Okay, so that was the epitome, I think, of the face of America at that time. Just stealing, just sex, tigers.
Do you think that it would have been I know it would have been big regardless. Do you think it would have been as big if we weren't like just going into like quarantine?
No. There would be no reason for me to watch Tiger King like the moment it came out if I wasn't in quarantine. Now, I'm sure it would cross my radar, but it'd probably be one of those shows if I...
Tiger King felt like 3 years ago. Honestly.
It did feel like, a good minute. But yeah, no, I would probably eventually watch it, but like I wouldn't be rushing to do it because I would have shit to do. I'd be out doing things.
Yeah.
But at that time we were quarantined. It was like we were all freaking out to leave the house. So
it's just funny to me how much came out of it.
Oh yeah, the memes were amazing because we were all bored.
The memes were great. We had people dressing up like like tigers and like him. On Halloween.
Oh boy, that bitch Carol Baskin.
Yeah, who's like 30 minutes away from us, if that, maybe less.
Right. Yeah, and Carol Baskin does not live that far from us. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
And then his family put up that ad like, hey, if you've seen him in the middle of Dancing with the Stars.
Oh man, they win the Petty Award
that
for the
was
year.
The best.
Like that trolling was amazing. But yeah, that was a moment in culture though. That haircut is iconic now.
And the mustache.
The mustache is absolutely the funniest thing about that show is not the fact that he went to war with Carol Baskin or he ran for president or like, you know, he just everybody was just using tigers to get pussy basically. Yeah. But or dick, you know, there was
like
not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, that's what they were swinging. But the funniest thing about that show is like the lack of people caring about being filmed. Like,
sadly, the funniest thing about the show is the funeral.
The funeral. Oh my god.
Sadly, I regret saying that, but it really is.
Y'all remember the funeral for his husband that killed himself, and he's just talking right there in front of his mother and loved ones about how he used to put his balls on his face.
And then he started singing terribly.
He said, "Yo, I miss my man. Whenever we come home, I used to run my balls across his face and slap him silly. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I miss you, buddy." You know, it was just like, what? This is real.
And everyone just sat there.
Everyone just
like, oh, this is normal. This is a normal day.
Oh, Nick. Oh, he put one on there that I didn't even think of. Versus. So Versus, I mean, I'll count it as a television show because everybody's watching like it's like close the enough. Super Bowl. Versus is that internet sensation created by Timbaland and Swiss Beats, where these two artists, they pin up, usually rap or R&B, to put their greatest hits together and see who does better. But I love verses. It's probably one of the best things to come out of quarantine. Um, but yeah, I'll count verses. What was the best verses you've seen?
America.
This
yeah,
is yeah.
Unfortunately,
We have that freedom to
unfortunately,
do
this
that
is
with-
where we are.
to do that with our testicals. So the best verses I've seen was DMX versus DMX versus Snoop Dogg. I also like T-Pain versus Lil Jon.
I think that's the only one I actually watched, so I can't really say which one I liked more.
Yeah,
Best because we only really watched like
because I'm
one
usually
or two, or then like if we did watch anything, it was like snippets.
Yeah,
of
snippets.
Stuff. We never watched the
We're
whole
usually-
thing of like any of them.
we're usually working, you
Yeah.
know, so that makes sense. But I do like the it's the best. It's one of the best concepts for a television show. We should have did that years ago.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one right here. You pick one.
The next one. Let's talk about Hunters.
Hunters. Okay, so Hunters is one from Netflix.
No, it's
not-
from Amazon.
Amazon Prime. I apologize. Amazon Prime has been stepping it up. So if anybody's seen Hunters, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. So Hunters is pretty much a more modern version of Inglourious Bastards, in my opinion. But it's set in the 70s. And so it's about these Jews that go hunting for American Nazis that are living in America, infiltrating our government, which is a lot of based on true events.
Yes.
Very scary to believe. You know, America sold their souls pretty much to grab the smart Nazis to help out
To get us to the moon. And
to get us to the moon and stuff like that, based on true stuff. So that's what's weird and scary about that. But yeah, if you
literal Nazis just sitting there working for NASA and
yeah,
all types of other like government entities.
yeah.
Crazy.
So but I enjoyed this show.
Oh yeah.
It had what's his name, Al Pacino,
Mm-hmm.
and that guy from the Perks of Being a Wallflower. And yeah, it was great. It was a lot of thriller investigation. It was like a crime thriller / like what do you call it when you hunt somebody down? I guess a spy thriller a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I would say spy. Yeah, it kind of has that spy thriller type of feel to it. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, if that's your type of thing of
it's like a revenge.
it's a revenge flick. Yeah.
flick.
If
Well,
it's your
show.
if you like seeing Nazis get their ass beat, injustice and shit like that, check it out. Abbott says Power Book Ghost was probably the Power. That's that show with 50 Cent, right? That he produces.
I don't know what it is.
I've now actually watched
honest.
Power, but he's talking about Ghost, so I think it is was probably the worst of the year. I'd have to take your word for that, brother. I've not watched that one. I haven't watched one episode of that ever. But yeah, I love this show. The great thing about the show was watching Al Pacino play a Jew. I don't know if he's Jewish in real life. I just know Al Pacino.
I don't think he is.
No, I don't think.
I don't think he is at all. Actually.
He's Italian, I think. But the funny thing about Al Pacino, he's literally played like every race except black, in my opinion. He did the Cuban character from Scarface, and he's played Latin American. He's played
He's played
a Jew.
everything except black.
And German. He's played German. He's played everything but black. So that dude has range. We don't give Al Pacino enough props. So check out Hunters on Amazon Prime.
But like we're also like in this time of like calling people out for doing stuff like that, but nobody gonna say nothing about Al Pacino.
Facts. He's a legend. So we're gonna talk next about Dave. Dave is that show from Little Dicky that he has on FX. It kind of reminds me of a funnier version of Atlanta. Doesn't mean it's better than Atlanta, I'd say, but it definitely has more comedy in it. What is your thoughts on Dave?
Definitely not better than Atlanta. Similar to, I think, kind of like how it's written a little bit.
Right.
I mean, I enjoyed it though. It had me laughing.
Yeah.
And I liked the characters. I liked following kind of like that story. So
Oh
I
yeah.
thought it was cool.
Speaking of his side characters, remember Gata?
Gata was great.
So Gata was his hype man, and the interesting part about Gata, which is a man that's never had any acting roles before. This is his first role. Had this episode was based on mental health.
So good.
Such
a good scene. Like
yeah, and it was probably better than any other performance from all these guys that's been acting for years and in the entertainment industry. So Yes, props to Gata on that and that show. And if you guys watch Dave, check it out. Seriously, if you've not watched Dave, please check it out. It showed that I knew Lil Dicky could rap, but like his
he's like
he's
really
got
good.
he's got an amazing gift and a great talent. So check out Lil Dicky's show, Dave.
And it showed how much he actually can be a dick.
Yeah,
in that show.
I would love to see a shared universe with Atlanta and Dave. It feels like it could be in the same.
Great.
It feels like it could be in the same universe.
Cool.
And Alex Snow, the guy who's supposed to be on the show, thank you for coming through, big homie, at least. And we got to have you back on the show. That's one of my good friends. We had a great conversation today about things going on. He's talking about Lovecraft Country, and we actually just finished that 2 days ago.
Yep.
Yes. So I'm going to give an unpopular opinion about Lovecraft. Okay. And we talked about this. I love Lovecraft Country. It's a great show. One of the most original things to come out this year. Yeah. That being said, it's not my favorite because it's just hard to follow. And it could just be my intelligence. I could be stupid. But I think it's given us some amazing moments. Some of the great sci-fi thriller moments. Some of the great callbacks to history. And it did have a very science... And it was going for horror. There was sometimes I was scared, especially for the time period. With that being said, though, it was hard for me to like follow the story, as in like the magic shit. Like it was just over my head. What are your thoughts on it?
So I didn't love it as much as I really, really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy it, but I will agree with you. At least up until about episode 5, which is halfway through, because the season is only 10 episodes. About halfway through, I was like, I still don't know exactly where we're going with this story. Like, it felt very disconnected, and I wish that it was a little bit more cohesive and like one big story. And sometimes it felt like really, really chopped up, and like I was getting pieces of it, and it was never adding up until the second half. Then the second half happened, and I was like, okay, this is starting to make more sense. I'm starting to understand. I get kind of like more about what's going on with these characters, what they're actually trying to do and get done, like the point of it. Like, I'm starting to get that, but
it takes so long to get there. Though
it did take a long time to get there, and we because of that put it off to the side for a while, and then went back to it.
That is why it took us. That's why we just recently finished it, because I was just like, I got other things I could watch right now, and like my interest has been lost. But like you said, after episode 5, you're just like, okay, I got to finish this. It's great.
After that, I felt like every single thing, although it still felt like every episode still felt very individual and very like its own thing. It felt more like it actually went together. Like I feel like it was supposed to. So I did like it a lot more after that. And I felt like a lot of those episodes, like after that, like in the last half, were just like really, really good. The Emmett Till episode was
great.
Probably my favorite episode.
And the one that the lady went through multiverses and stuff like that, and time travel. I love that.
Right before that.
Yeah. And I'm glad they touched on episode 9, I believe it was the Oklahoma bombing thing, the Tulsa massacre, which you need to see. Watchmen, they do talk about that on that a little bit, but I love that episode as well. But these are like later episodes, but like I do recommend everybody watch Lovecraft, one of the most unique shows to come out in 2020, like a 1950s, I think, right? A 1950 horror sci-fi thriller.
Oh yeah,
that
and
is
all black cast.
An all black cast. That blows my mind. White Girl did a great job on the show too, man. You know, I don't know who she is in real life, but she's great.
That was also
and the guy, they had the same mannerism. So when that twist of them being the same person, I was like, that was kind of genius.
Yeah.
It's an anthology. Sometimes you gotta go. Sorry.
Let go.
So I'm reading from parts. Go back to parts, and it did tie in toward the end. Like everything started.
It all made
making
sense at the end. I just wanted it to make more sense as I was watching it.
Right.
But yeah, after I think got used to it, because we're so used to watching shows that like genuinely build directly on top of like the last part, that I think it's hard for a lot of people probably to be like, okay, this show isn't doing that.
Yeah.
How do I process this and have it make sense and enjoy it. You know, even though I'm kind of confused.
But I can appreciate the callbacks to like you're putting the puzzle together. But like we are used to that. I prefer movies that bring the callback because you're literally just watching the one and done. When television shows, you're like, what the hell? I gotta remember something from episode 2. I'm on 15. What's going on? I feel like
you're pretty good at doing that though, but maybe you're just selective.
That's true. All right, so Alex says, "Oh no, I'm on episode 4." We just ruined the whole damn show. He said, "I'm on episode 4 or 5, and it's a ride." It's
did we give spoilers?
We gave a lot of spoilers. We ruined the whole damn show.
We didn't tell him how it ended or anything like that.
We didn't tell him how it ended, but damn,
we just said the first half is a little bit difficult to understand. And the second half,
I gave specific details about like episode 9 and 5.
Yeah, but we didn't go. We said what they were about. I don't know. Let us know, Alex, if you feel like we spoiled anything. I apologize.
From here on out, sorry. Spoiler alert.
I feel like we really didn't spoil anything. I think we just, in general, said this is kind of the theme of these episodes, and that's what we liked. So I don't think it's actually spoiling anything for you.
King of the Hill said, I don't know, have any of these streaming services other than the Mandalorian, so I do not, so I don't go get joined, so I can't join in on the conversation. Sorry, it's a little bit far, so if it sounds like I'm messing things up, I gotta squint a little bit to see that. But dude, I hope you heard the Mandalorian conversation we had earlier. Great episode. What are your thoughts for episode 2? What are your theories? What do you think is going to happen with Boba Fett? I have a lot of theories on that. Spoilers don't bother me. All right, you're better than I am, Alex.
I really don't think that we actually told him anything that he's going to be like, man, I wish I didn't know that. I don't think we did that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right, so let's go to one of my okay, we talked about Lovecraft. Let's go to one of my favorite shows of the year, man, The Boys. We can't not talk about The Boys. I mean, we've talked about it a lot on this channel. I've done a rap review of that on my channel as well. But The Boys, I love season 1. I thought season 2 stepped it up. It's an amazing spoof superhero story that's comic book based from an indie comic, and it's hilarious, but it's actually got a lot of heart. This season they introduced Stormfront, which is a Nazi soup, which is besides Snake, it's one of my I'm scared of snakes. I'm scared of heights.
Get HBO Max. Yes.
Yeah, real talk. Waiting to get 8. Holla at me. I can get you HBO Max. You definitely can have my password, brother. Well, I'll get that to you. But yeah, I need to also get into the Boys comic book. And so yeah, like I said, Nazi superhero is definitely one of my worst fears besides snakes. And what were your thoughts on The Boys season 2? Was it better than the first? Did you enjoy it?
I might have liked it better than the first. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We obviously don't like Nazis. It's the second show that we're talking about where someone gets to either kill or beat up a Nazi. So, but yeah, I don't know.
What are your thoughts on how they distribute it? Because that's how Lovecraft did it. So do you prefer
every week?
Yeah. So you do, and Handmaid's Tale does this as well. Do you prefer getting it all at once, like Netflix always does, or do you prefer the weekly thing, giving it some time to breathe and think about it?
I don't know. I like a little bit of both. So I like having that instant gratification kind of where it's okay, I can watch as much as I want to watch right now, and then I can move on through it at my own pace type of thing.
Right.
Because sometimes I know a lot of people will literally sit there and binge. We don't always have time to sit there and binge.
Right,
so even though we have it, we might not watch all 10 episodes within 2 days. It might take us forever. So
we're in this culture where we want it now.
Yeah.
We just all right, I just finished 20 episodes of this season. When is season 2? And they're bitch, can I turn the camera on first? Dadgum. It takes a long time to get that out.
I think that's kind of the other side of it where it's I kind of like having that. Oh,
hey, my big homie Jeremy Branch, thank you for coming through. Thank you for that super chat. You just bought me a sandwich. I appreciate it. And actually, I'm going to give this sandwich to you. You deserve it. Thank you. That's for you, my baby. That's from Jeremy. Jeremy's feeding my girlfriend. Stop feeding my girlfriend. I'm just kidding. Keep feeding my girlfriend. Feeding my child. Help keep her brother off the streets, everybody. Thank you for coming through with that super chat, big homie. That's my homeboy. We just did him and Alex just did a show called The Recommendation. Check it out. It's going to be dropping on my channel this Sunday. We're going to be recommending television shows, movies, and music. So check that out coming this Sunday. But yeah, thank you for coming through, big homie. But yeah, we were talking about how they're distributed.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think at first I was that greedy person that was like, man, I want my movie now, or I want my television show now. Where's the next season? Thank you for giving me all these at once. I'm going to waste the whole day watching it. But I do like to sit and talk. Friends like Alex, or not Alex, but friends like Jeremy, they talked about Lovecraft every week. Every time it dropped, they had content to talk about. And the same thing with Reggie. We talked, he had the boys.
Yeah. When it all drops at once, it's more like, here's my overall review, and then that's it. And you don't really get that opportunity to do that. Yeah. That's what the Mandalorian's doing. That's what another show that we like is Handmaid's Tale does. But I'm not mad to get it all at once either. Like, no, yeah, I do like to have it kind of like whenever, like, depends on the show, I guess. Watch it. Yeah, like at my disposal, kind of. Absolutely. But at the same time, I feel like kind of like you said, if you have that sort of like wait in between, like it doesn't feel like it's all gone now. What do I do now? I have nothing else to watch now. Like, it might cause that. That's kind of keeping your attention for like 10 weeks, or 12 weeks, or It might cause that depression. What do I do with my life now? I've devoted everything to this Netflix show, and it's taken away from me. I have nothing to do till season 3. What am I gonna do? Yeah, that's a whole year away. So I for the most part, it brings it back in your day when you were a kid and you had to wait a week for an episode. It's not the worst thing in the world. We're just really. And I mean, with as much content as like what comes out now. Yeah. Like you have so much stuff to be able to watch in between the next like season of something or the sequel to something that it's like you don't even care. Like sometimes I forget that I'm even waiting on something until someone mentions it. And I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, I did want to watch that. When is that happening? Right. And then I'm thinking about it again, but there's just so much. Reggie from the Silver Site says, I was a little annoyed with the boys did that. But then I realized I really got to enjoy. Really sorry. You got the computer right there. I'm over here squinting and killing myself. You knew it was here. You put it here. I've been reading this one. Sorry. If you guys seen the setup, you would be like, what the hell? You can't read. But I'm dodging to see it. I was a little annoyed with the boys did that, but I realized that I got to really enjoy and let the episode marinate for me. You remember more week to week than with binging. Absolutely. That's the point. Seriously, we got to enjoy this content when it comes out. We can't just like eat the little candies and throw it away. If that makes any sense. So, what's he saying? What's Abbott saying? The Boys season 2 release schedule made each episode feel like a weekly event every Friday. Yeah, it did. It was a celebration. All right, he was always like, let's go. He literally would turn it on if I was taking too long. He's like, I've been waiting like all day. Yeah. I've been waiting all week. Like, I'm not waiting on you anymore. She's right. I love you to death, boo, but you better hurry up now when the boy's on. I see how much you love me. So we got The Floor is Lava, which it's a great family show that I want to be on. Do you want to see us on The Floor is Lava? So if you guys watch this is like a little game show that's on Netflix where it's something that we played all the time as kids. We were jumping from furniture to furniture, things to things, and trying not to touch the floor. If you do, you melt in the lava and die. Yep. And everything goes to your next of kin. And so, they made this an actual show. Like they gave you this fake lava and you're jumping on furniture and stuff like that. And I think I could do it. It looks really fun. It looks great. And you see, when you see people fall to the lava, you bust out laughing, and then you're just like looking at the obstacle course. Like, it's always so dramatic. Yeah. Like, oh, when they're falling down.
But
they
then
like slide off of something or
yeah. And when you watch the show, you're like looking at the stuff like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And that's why I think we can. I'm that cocky at the moment. Yes,
at the moment.
Jeremy did come through with the chat, man. That's my homie. But yeah, do you think we could beat The Floor Is Lava?
I think we can do it.
I think we can.
I think we should maybe work out a little bit first. But I think we can do it.
That is fact. My stomach starts to talk to me now. You should work out. Okay. Then my stomach looks like a straight up butt. If poop comes out the belly button, then you need to work out. You need to work out, Ian. Okay. But yeah, The Floor Is Lava is a cute show you can watch with the whole family, and then just get you motivated to work out. And I will get into that myself. The Umbrella Academy season 2. Was not a fan of season 1.
Was not. I didn't like the show at all. I hated it.
What was your problem with it?
It was too corny.
It's not corny.
I couldn't handle what's his name? The big guy.
Oh,
he was all types of corny to me.
He was. He's the
that's where it really lost me. The first time that we watched it, back when it originally came out.
Luther is his name. Yeah.
Could not. Just couldn't. Couldn't do
so
it.
Luther ruined the whole show for you?
No, I mean it was the show in general, but then like he really just, I was like, can't. But then he was like, okay, well, like season 2 is coming out, and I think that you would actually like it if you just like tried it again. So then we watched it again. I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. And then I watched the second season. Second season I thought was definitely better than the first season.
Oh, for sure. I still love the first season. But I'm glad you did give it another chance, because I was trying to understand like why you didn't like it.
I still think it's corny, but it's also, you have to think about the fact that it came out around the same time that The Boys came out, which is 100% not corny in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Very gory.
Yeah.
It's not this. I mean, it can be, but
it's very self-aware.
Not in the same way.
It's very self-aware.
Not in the same way.
I think that's the difference.
I feel like that is the difference.
Yeah,
I feel like Umbrella Academy wasn't trying to be corny, but it was.
Exactly.
And The Boys is intentionally kind of clowning other stuff.
In Toddy's defense, Luther is Lori from The Walking Dead. Level annoying. Yeah, no, Luther is definitely my least favorite
annoying.
Character. He is definitely.
He's just, yeah.
He was annoying in season 2.
He was annoying. I still don't like the character, but
but I think what season 2 did was great. I know Alex has a defense that it's kind of doing the same beats from season 1, where they're trying to defend the end of the world and stuff like that. But I do like the fact that they switched the environment. They gave
changing that. I feel like did change a lot.
Yeah, so it was very unique to have them come at different time periods and have one become a cult leader, the other one like try to save Kennedy's assassination, the other one working for the guy that killed Oswald. It was great. I thought it was like really unique, and I loved seeing like them work as a team. They did they were a lot more separated in the first one, but coming not even as a team, but as a family, you're getting a little bit more answers, getting a lot more questions, obviously about like the dad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think they left it at a great ending where it's not going to be the same beats of the first season, because
they're definitely going to have to change.
They're going to have to definitely change it up. I loved it. It's not as good as The Boys, but it's right there after it.
And I think that was my thing. I was like, okay, we just watched The Boys, and The Boys was like amazing.
You can't compare everything together.
Super impressive, and then like we got that, which is also still on the same line of superheroes and that whole idea, and I just couldn't really separate the two. I was like, I really like this one so much that this one feels like so corny and compared to it that I just couldn't.
You can't
get
do that
past it at the time.
Can't do that with superhero shows. Like whenever you do watch Watchmen, I think you'll like it better than all of them.
But I think it's going to be more on the line of like, as far as being impressed by it, I think it's going to be definitely more on the side of like The Boys.
I gotcha.
So
right on. And Reggie says, "Oh, Utopia, Utopia is on my watch later list. I know all about it, and it sounds amazing. It sounds like it's predicting the thing that's going on right now. But yeah, we're that's on the watch later list. We've not watched it, but I've heard amazing things about it. But yeah, Umbrella Academy season 2 was great. A lot of great memes came from that. A lot of people enjoyed it. I think episode 1 had one of the best intros.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a better intro than anything from what's it called? Umbrella Academy. Just the way that they had that like unique fight, that one take shot. Huh? I said that scene from Umbrella Academy had better intros.
than The Boys.
Yeah, I think so. Well, no, that intro in The Boys when they where they're doing the fake Fox News incel thing.
Oh,
where
yeah,
it
that
created,
was good.
That was actually a really good intro. I might have to take that back.
Maybe equal.
It was just
for
as
different
good.
reasons.
Yeah. All right, so let's which one do you want to talk about next? I'll let you choose. Got that one, this one, this one, this one, and this one.
I'll talk about Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries. I'll let you lead that one because that's one I've only seen bits and pieces of.
So I don't know how many of you are into true crime, but I'm very into true crime. So Unsolved Mysteries is not a new show. It's a very old show, actually.
Thank you for stopping by, cuz. Have a good night, big homie.
But Netflix has starting this year done their own Unsolved Mysteries. So they released a season earlier in the year, and then they just released a second volume like this in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone through like the second volume yet. I've gone through some of the episodes, but Unsolved Mysteries is that jam. Yes. It's such a good show. And it's just so interesting, like, to see. And I mean, there's a million different shows that you can watch that you can get kind of your true crime fix if you're a fan of that.
Right.
On Netflix as well as like other streaming services. But I don't know. It made me excited to have like Unsolved Mysteries, like a brand new, fresh, like, I don't know. It's not any different than like what anybody else has done, but it's just nice to see like new stuff and like know that people are still working on all these new things. And there's a million documentaries out there that focus on this too,
especially on Netflix. Yeah.
So.
I mean, I've not watched the whole thing, but I do like it. It's been like my nightlight a couple times when you were watching it. Not that I was not interested in watching it, just because I was tired. But from what the things I did see, I was just like, I was up to you, like, what the hell's going on here? What's this all about?
No, he was like, I had already watched because I was sick at the time, so I watched the whole volume like real quick, like I binged it because I was stuck in the room, and sometimes yes. And then I was like, you have to watch this episode. This is like crazy.
This episode? He's talking about the mom killed the husband.
About the mom that killed her husband and then the daughter.
Allegedly. Wow. You know what he's talking about? You know what he's talking about?
Crazy. Yeah. That one. Also, the one about the guy that fell through the roof.
That one's the one that had me like.
Is also
they might need to put that one in the paranormal stuff. That one might be for the aliens and the ghost
shit. It was
shit.
just like impossible to figure out what actually happened in that one. Like that one was a tricky one for sure.
Yeah, no, facts. But yeah.
And I also like the fact, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So this is something new that I've seen because most of the shows that do true crime, if they're like can't come from the US, they only focus on stuff in the US, which there's plenty of stuff to focus on here. But
right.
I liked the fact that at least the first volume, they had one from I think like France or something. So like they kind of did it internationally and kind of like branched out a little bit. So I liked that about it too. So that was pretty cool to see, different places and different people and
And I do want to finish that. Like I gotta make the time because it's a dope show. Witches did that. Burn them at the stakes. Facts. Did The Witcher come out this year? Or was that last year?
No, it came out this year.
So that's a show you liked, right?
I didn't watch all of it. I watched like an episode. Not because I didn't like it. I think I watched it. I turned it on like as a nightlight or something, and then I never actually tried to watch it. After that, so
there was one time
I probably like it.
You were promoting it to me one time, and you're like, it sounded dope.
I think I watched some of the first episode, and I was like, this looks like it would be something I'd like. I just for some reason never went back to.
Oh, okay.
I think we watched something else, and I kind of moved along.
Here's let's talk about this one, The Social Dilemma, which honestly I don't even know if it came out this year, but it got all the hype this year. I want to say like let me look that
Technically, it's not a show; it's a documentary.
Yeah, it's
worth bringing up. Regardless.
It did come out this year. I'm sorry, but what?
Oh,
nothing. Sorry.
You scared me.
I thought I cut the whole thing off. I hit an X, but it was the wrong one. Okay, that's good. Ooh, heart attack. So yeah, so it did come out this year, but I saw some of these clips actually from the show a couple of years ago. I was looking them up to do further research on some of the projects or on the subjects. But yes, the social dilemma. It's technically not a show; it's a documentary, like Toddy said, and yeah, that one, which I'm still like responding to the effects of it because it didn't come out that long ago. And I find myself being a victim to a lot of the stuff in this documentary to this day. And I'm trying to do better. I do feel myself creeping back to that addiction that is set up to have us addicted and divided and all that stuff, which you can see a lot of that effects right now in our society with the politics. But yeah, the social dilemma. It's a great documentary about the evils of social media. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was interesting. Not even just like the topic of it, because obviously that was interesting, but the way that they mixed talking with people that actually made these platforms to do what they do, and like had all these people that were like, this is the worst thing we've ever done, like regrets, but also the way that they kind of pieced together, like giving a visual to the story as well, and like kind of giving you like a character to follow throughout it, and seeing like how all of like these social media platforms are affecting that person.
Yeah.
And the way that it's like set up is like a cabin in the woods type of thing, but social media instead of a horror movie. So that was kind of interesting the way that they did that, because a lot of documentaries don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, and man, yeah, you're right. The fact that people that worked for these companies coming out to admit, like, hey, yo, everything that's happening to you to get on this phone, it's programmed. We have it like a slot machine for you to like think that you're going to win something next time you scroll down this feed. The fact that they've looked at the stuff that you are looking up to try to sell you these ads, and the fact that they are purposely
so-and-so or commented on this, and it's like, I don't have anything to do with that post, but it makes you want to look at it. They got someone that you follow.
They got these tricks to get you on your phone even when you put it down. Like, what you said is, hey, here's a notification about somebody near you, stuff like that. The evils of social media, man, and and we're all victims of it. And to the point that I feel like a lot of what's going on in our society with this election, everybody's anxiety and anger toward each other of the subjects of Trump or Biden, or the right versus the left, conservative versus liberal, like, the media versus everybody. It's always been there, but like that fire has been being lit.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't
by social media. Whenever they whenever you seem like you lean a little bit left, they're going to give you all the left liberal articles that piss you off about like injustice or abortion, anything that's on that side that would make you agree. And then on the other side, the right, when they talk everything that's pro Donald Trump, or everything that's like, the Antifa's messing up your neighborhood, they're out to get you. This is all on purpose to get us divided. And we got to stop fighting each other. We got to realize we're both victims in this shit. And, we got to, it's easier said than done, because a lot of us have pent up anger. I know I do toward a lot of these subjects.
And but, also, like, some of like the statistics and stuff that they gave like during that documentary about just like things that people are like going through, like suicide rates and stuff like that on the rise, especially for children, was like gut-wrenching to read. Like it's up by like 159% or something like that for like 12-year-olds, and it's just like, it just like hurts you, like, it wasn't like this, and like we're kind of fucking it all up for them.
We're in a weird time where like these like 12-year-olds, I think, are like the ones that grew up in social media. And the kids thing really broke my heart, because my son has seen me on this phone, and he's seen social media his whole life. We are the age where we saw the smartphone. We saw a regular phone turn into a smartphone. Then we saw the rise of Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff. You know, these kids are living in it, and it's just like
they haven't known a world without it.
The fact that we're going
all.
through crazy mental health issues with the subject of social media, like I do not want to see my son as a zombie, you know, being victim to this. Maybe they'll rebel. That's the best thing I could feel like. Hey, our parents are always on social media. I think it's the best idea for me to not do what my parents do. I'm hoping for that outcome. Yeah. Abbas says Afterlife season 2 was great. What was that about? I mean, I think obviously about a life,
not sure.
But I think is that a Netflix show? It
sounds familiar, but I don't know it. Like,
I think it hit my radar. Is it a sci-fi type show? I do think it looked interesting. I do agree with King of the Hill. Social media needs to die. Yeah, I would not be. I would. You know, I feel like we're all addicted to it somehow. But if it was to be taken away from us, and we had to like refigure out the technology of being social with each other, I'm down for it. I'm not down for cutting off the internet because sometimes some of people need that to live. But social media, I think we could do without it. I think we could take a step back and try to relearn being actual social. Sorry. Alex says it's absolutely an economic ecosystem
curated specifically to you.
Remember, you have it over here.
I read it.
I couldn't see, like, so if
that's why I read it.
These guys don't understand it. So I have a camera ring right here, and I'm trying to look over this to get to a TV that's like 10 feet that way. But she has a laptop right here she can read.
I read it.
I know. I'm just giving them the settings of what's going on up in here. Why I'm like struggling to read shit. All right. Reggie says it's funny.
Do you want me to read it?
Please.
What's funny is that I realized this years ago. I stopped being outraged and started reading about the issues I cared about and pulled from different sources. I've only found balance 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Big facts. Big facts. Everybody should think for themselves. Reggie's absolutely right. You know, we got to take a step back and have the question if we are wrong. Well, as much as we do think we're right, we gotta go in these conversations like maybe I am wrong. You know. So the show that he was talking about, Afterlife, is a Netflix show. You know what? It's starting to come to me. That's the one with Ted Danson, I think, where they're all like in heaven, right? I think I know what you're talking about. I've not watched it, but I do know the vibe of it, and it does look funny. Ted Danson does a funny job on Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you guys ever watched that show.
Wait, is that the show with what's her name? Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, yeah, that's the same show. Now it's coming back to me. Well, I don't know why I thought it was like a sci-fi. After Earth type thing.
It sounds like it could be.
Yeah. But no, I do know that vibe of that show. I've not watched it, but I am intrigued because I'm a fan of Ted Danson. Got stuff in my throat. I need to clear that out. Pause. Okay. So no, that's Another Life. Okay, so that's what I was thinking about. Another Life. Thank you. Another Life was the sci-fi one. I'm going to need glasses, old man. You are the old man, Mr. Chalk Drinker. But yeah, which one were we talking about? Oh, The Social Dilemma. Yeah, definitely. If you've not watched The Social Dilemma, please check it out. That's probably my number one recommendation for a television show or for a documentary to watch for the year. If you watch Tiger King, please give The Social Dilemma a chance and take a step back to realize that we are being played. We're all pawns in some type of higher power type of battle. So we got 3 more left that we're going to talk about. Which one would you choose? Would you like to choose?
I can talk about this one, so we can leave those.
Right on. So this is a show you've watched and I have not watched.
So Ratchet from Netflix stars Sarah Paulson, who is a really great actress. And it centers on Nurse Ratchet from the much older story. Why is my head not working? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Okay. There we go. All Sorry. Right. Gotcha. So that mean-ass nurse from that. Yeah. It centers on her. It gives like a whole like backstory to her and like just follows her. And it was really, really, really cool. So I immediately was interested in it because it's kind of a drama mystery.
Yeah.
Almost a thriller sometimes with like some of the stuff that happens in it. And it's set in like the 60s.
Mhm.
So that was also super cool to me. And since I'm going into nursing, I was like, this is my show. Like,
So
I
this
have
is
to
the
watch
show.
this.
This is the show I walked in on you, and you're watching. They were kind of torturing this.
In the bath?
The gay
Yep.
person. Yeah.
Yes. So it's, yeah, there's definitely some scenes in there that are like very
Hard to watch.
controversial
Yeah.
and like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
But that shit that they actually did to people back
Mhm.
in the day because they didn't know any better and they were like, they're wrong for this. I can treat it by doing stupid shit that doesn't work.
Absolutely.
And just hurts them more. Thankfully we are past that point now
Yeah.
and actually use science and things that, you know, actually do work.
Yeah.
But very, very cool show. Very interesting just to like watch the progression of the characters and just see how it all plays out. And it actually is a pretty interesting storyline, I feel like. So I would definitely recommend if you're interested in kind of, you know, being in a different setting, in a different time. And yeah.
All right. Okay. No doubt. No doubt. Abbas says The Last Dance was good. And what's that one about? Remember? Abbas coming with some of the suggestions I might have to throw in there. Let's see. The Last Dance. Sorry, fellers. Let me look that. Oh, that's the documentary about Michael Jordan. I've heard great things about that. I've heard that, and yeah, King of the Hill agrees. I did hear about that. I heard that, like, even if you're not a big fan of sports or Michael Jordan, which I don't understand why anyone would not be a fan of Michael Jordan, one of the best to ever do it.
You don't watch sports, you don't have any. You can't really be that much of a fan.
Everybody,
you recognize who it is, but you might not have like a love.
I get that, especially now. There's a whole generation that never saw him play live. I did see him play, well, not live in person, but I did watch him on television actually playing. So he does hold a place in my heart when it comes to sports. And so yeah, and it's the Michael Jordan documentary. I should have just waited for y'all to tell me. Thank you for coming through with that. But yeah, I heard it's not just, even if you're not a fan of sports or Michael Jordan, I heard it's a good watch, you know, just like to motivate you and to it's an interesting take of his life.
Cool.
So I think that one's on my list. I do want to check that one out. But yeah, it's the Michael Jordan documentary. I heard great things about it. So I might give it some time. I don't know how many episodes are on that, but I'm gonna give that one a type of day. He says it's not a I'm not a basketball fan, but I appreciate the show. So yeah, he's saying the same things I've heard. We got two more. So we got Kipo. Kipo season 3 came out this year. Kipo is like this American anime, so it's kind of knockoff, but it's still a good show. So it's season 3. We actually found the show this year. The first 2 seasons came out in 2019, and the third one came out this year. And it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
It's
sort of like an Alice in Wonderland almost.
Yes, I can agree with that. It's like Alice in Wonderland meets the Wizard of Oz in the far, far future that's been demolished, and it's got like
apocalypse
it's like an apocalyptic vibe, if that makes any sense. A bunch of mutated animals that are like super big, and they're talking, and they have jobs and businesses, and they're just like, it's a free for all. And the humans are the ones that are like the creatures that like try to hide and not be found. Living underground and stuff like that.
Try to survive.
So we came across this, like we were bored and we wanted to watch a cartoon. And I was like, let's check this one out. Looks interesting. And I saw that there was some black characters. So that definitely.
I think that's what it was. Like,
yeah.
I think it was in that little section that Netflix has that says something about like black culture.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
It was like under that list.
It was around that time.
And we were
after.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Because she's like pink.
It was around that time after Black Lives Matter.
But all the main characters are black.
Yeah,
so
it is. And fun fact: the voice of Kipo is the Katana from
is who
is Katana is the Asian girl from Suicide Squad, Katana, and her name on the boys is something begins with Kamiko. Yeah,
so the girl that doesn't talk. From the boys,
she has she's another Asian chick that doesn't talk in Suicide Squad. But it's so weird to realize that's the same voice in Kipo, because she's the exact opposite character. She's like always happy and go and talking and just she's like Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab. She won't calm the fuck down. She's really happy and positive. And but yeah, it's definitely the opposite of Kimiko from The Boys. But we like this show. It's very unique and different. And like I said, it is like knockoff anime, but it's dope that Netflix is doing some dope cartoons now. I think it's something that even adults can enjoy. So Reggie says the indifferent of Kipo. I like it, but it's sort of but it's too offbeat for me sometimes. And I can kind of see it. It is kind of a show that drags a little bit, but if you're invested in these characters, you do like to see what their mindset is in some of these situations.
Yeah, and it's cool to like. I mean, I don't always like all the new characters that they bring in because like every episode you meet it's kind of somebody new because like we said it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz, so they're like going through this world, so you're meeting all types of different characters that look different, have very different personalities, have very different like directions that they're going in, and goals that they're trying to accomplish. So some of them I'm like, okay, cool, I really like these characters, I like what they did with this, and then some of them I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, or if I actually feel
Thank you for coming through. Job, but as always, King of the Hill, man, much love to you, brother. See you next week. I got a video coming out this Sunday. Please check it out. It's called The Recommendation, and it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. So what's Reggie saying on this one?
Should have watched She-Ra and Dragon Prince. It's hella diverse and so well written.
Okay, I think that's the one that looks like the spinoff of what's it called? Avatar. I think it looks like. If not, it has that same type of vibe. And we will not ignore your spelling mistakes, you moron. I'm just kidding. Reggie's a smart guy.
Is it? No, I think The Legend of Korra is what you're.
That's what I was thinking. Sorry. I'm an uncultured swine. Sorry about that.
Yeah, The Legend of Korra, I think, is made by the same people as Avatar.
And that came out this year. My mom enjoyed that one when she watched it with Isaiah.
I think The Dragon Prince is all on its own.
Okay.
I saw it the other day. I didn't watch it, but I remember seeing like the thing, like the square on Netflix.
I had to put that one on the list. And the last thing, which we're going to talk about, is a show that we literally started last night. We've watched one episode, but I really enjoying this. It's called The Good Lord Bird. It's starring Ethan Hawke, the guy from Training Day.
And a million other things.
Yeah. No, he's a very underrated actor. Boyhood. One of my favorite movies, Predestination. Very good movie. But no, he's done amazing.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Brooklyn's Finest, I believe he was in that one too. Yeah, he's an amazing actor. Very underrated to this generation. But he plays a guy named John Brown, which is based off of a true character. He was this white guy that ran around during the Civil War freeing black people. And what's really dope about this, not only because it's based on a true character and it's a very good premise, like it's like Django a little bit, but the way he acts this role out, it kind of reminds me of Johnny Depp's portrayal of Jack Sparrow. So picture like Jack Sparrow in slave times freeing slaves. He's got this like unique, like very weird vibe to him. That he's very unpredictable as well. He's very weird.
He's
and hilarious.
I think everyone kind of thinks that he's like nuts.
He's nuts. He's out of his mind.
Crazy.
But that's what they think about Jack Sparrow.
But I think that's kind of what gets him through.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how he frees these people and kind of keeps it moving. So.
Yeah. It's a dope show. I mean, a lot of us are tired of seeing slave shows and movies because black people are more than just slaves. We got to. It's too much movies about that. Let's see us as doctors and lawyers and other successful characters. But I do like that this is an untold story about a heroic white man doing the right thing.
This isn't something that we've really seen. So.
Yeah, we've never seen. So the fact that it's different, I can respect it. I do want to watch the rest of it.
And it also kind of follows this, like the narration is not from John Brown. The narration is from like a teenage boy who is a slave.
Yeah,
and John Brown's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna free you or whatever. And so he
Alex is stupid.
So he ends up like sticking with him, and this whole time like he misheard and he thought that.
Thank you for coming through, Abbas. As always,
thought that he was he thought that he heard his father say that he was a girl. Like he misheard the name. And so he's like,
yes.
And just sticks with that he's like a girl. And so this poor kid is like walking around wearing a dress. And like It's
Very funny.
It's so funny.
Very
and
funny.
It's just definitely unique. Like the writing is very
Yes.
cool. So
And like we said, we've only watched one episode, but we're gonna continue watching it. But that is,
watch some of it tonight.
we're gonna watch some of it tonight. I do love Ethan Hawke's portrayal, and like you said, that is probably the best part of the show. Where this boy, he's a cute little boy that's with short hair, so he could be
Yeah, he's right on that line, and his hair is like shaved down, so it looks like he could potentially.
We all
be
know
a
these
girl.
boyish-looking girls or girlish-looking
Yeah,
boys.
he could be a girl with like her
Yeah.
hair completely shaved off, but
it's hilarious
It's
that they
like,
keep calling him a girl, and he won't ever be like, "Hey, dude, I'm a guy." But he's to the point he's wearing a dress and walking around with them, but he's enjoying the privilege that comes with it. Like, they're like, "Oh, it's a girl. Don't give her too much stuff to carry, and don't give her too much work to do."
I think he sort of enjoys it just because he doesn't have as much to do, but at the same time, he's like, "Man, I'm not a girl." Like,
right. But it's a very funny. It's a show it's all about the drama of slavery and freeing slaves, but it does have humor to it.
It's unique.
It's very unique.
I like it.
And I can't wait to finish watching it. But The Good Lord Bird is one of the best
and that's
shows
on
this year.
Showtime.
And it's on Showtime, yeah. So did we miss any? That was it for my list.
I can't think of anything else.
I think we did it all. Thank you for everybody that came through the chats with the conversation. And thank you. And everybody out there, my thoughts and prayers with you, seriously. Like, I know my anxiety is going through the roof. I know everybody else is on edge. We'll get through this together. I know that's like the corny thing to say, but like, seriously, like, I'm going to probably reach out to a lot of my friends for mental help through this time, because this is a tough times, and we're all divided, and it can string at your hearts. It seriously can.
Yeah,
for sure. Thank you guys for coming through. Much love, peace, and chicken grease. I got a video coming out this Sunday. Look out for that. And if not, I'll see you next week. Thank you for everybody coming through. Peace.
Bye.